Part 3 of the Glock 17 review by Nutnfancy. Thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks for your support. I appreciate it. Let's get going. I ended part 2 by talking about the durability of the Glock 17 and how I think that still in 2008 it sets a standard against a lot of other pistol designs. Now that's not to say there aren't some excellent designs out there that are equally, if I'm not going to say more, but let's say equally durable as the Glock pistol design. One of them might be the Springfield XD, also a polymer frame pistol, maybe the H&K USP. Those are very durable polymer frame designs that are outstanding, and I think they have a lot of merit. However, we're talking about the Glock. Another part of its durability is the finish that it puts on its slide, and that's a Nutnfancy finish. Very salt and corrosion resistant, and they also go on put it on the barrel if I'm not mistaken. And that is a huge thing. As I may have mentioned, I'm a big SIG fan too. I love SIG pistols. However, in terms of their classic designs like the P228, the P226, the non-stainless steel slide, it's back when they milled the stamp slides, the Glock 17 is superior in terms of corrosion resistance. We don't have any steel or aluminum to corrode on the lower half of the frame. I'm talking the frame, not the innards. And then we have a Nutnfancy coating on the slide. And that Nutnfancy is extremely hard, surpassing the hardness of the slide itself, I believe. Very wear resistant, and it just never goes away. I wish every gun I owned was Nutnfancy coated. I really do. And it adds an amazing amount of durability to the design. So polymer frame is pretty much as about as rugged as you can get, even though it's lightweight. The Nutnfancy finish rocks, especially if you're around salt water, or if you're carrying it near your side where you're sweating on it, because you produce a lot of salt when you sweat, and it's very corrosive to any normal metal. I'm just wiping that off because I'm anal with my guns. I like them clean. Sorry, that's just a sickness I have. So durable, you betcha. Now let's talk about the ergonomics. I said in my Car PM9 review that design is polarizing, and I'm going to stick with that with about every gun I will review. Every design is polarizing. There's going to be some people that just love it. There's going to be some people that just hate it. And the Glock 17 is no different. There are some people that hold this gun and say, this gun sucks. It just does not fit my hand. And I understand that. Everybody's hand's a little bit different. We have a whole bunch of different sizes. The Glock 17 may not fit you. However, one of its smaller versions, like the Glock 19, to be covered in a separate review, just might fit you. So we have a lot of versatility in the Glock design. If the 17 doesn't fit you, and again I'm just talking about the 9mm versions, maybe the other ones will. This 19, maybe even the 26 fits your little hand. You'd have to be a munchkin if that's what fits you, but so be it, at least you're armed. The ergonomics I find in the Glock auto pistols is excellent. I have no issues with it at all. I find the grip angle is ideal. I find the grip is very comfortable and non-fatiguing. I find that when I put my finger, and again we've already safety checked this weapon, when I put my finger in the trigger guard, I don't find any abrasion like I do with some other designs where my finger's always rubbing the trigger guard. Now, the newer frame designs, and I used newer loosely, they came out with this a number of years ago, they have the finger grooves on it. I would prefer not to have these finger grooves on my Glocks. And yes, I know there's ways to mill them off. There's modifications to the grip that can be done. I kind of think it's a waste of money. I don't, however, find them to be show-stopping. I still find it very ergonomic for my hand size. And my hands, again, tend towards the larger size. I wear large gloves. So, the Glock is very ergonomic for me. And yes, there's some other awesome designs out there that are probably a little bit more ergonomic than the Glock, truth be told. I understand that. I think the SIG grip, for instance, is a little bit more ergonomic, at least for my hand size. But overall, I find it excellent. I don't mind it at all. Very, very comfortable, easy to shoot, comes to point very quickly because the grip angle is just about right. Speaking of which, let's talk about the sights on the Glock. They're excellent. Now, these have Mepro lights on it, which are tritium This particular one has an all green set on it. I'm a big fan of Mepro lights versus Trijicons. I find they are more durable, they last longer, and I have lots of experience in it. My Triges pretty much go dim a lot quicker than my Meps have. And again, I'm not going to talk about the modifications to this gun. That's a separate video, or videos as the case may be. But suffice it to say that all service pistols should have tritium sights on it, pretty much. And yes, in 2008, that's pretty much a standard. The excellent sights on the Glock pistols. Now, again, these are not factory sights. You cannot order this olive drab Glock 17 with night sights on it from Glock. You have to, as I have, install your own Mepro lights on it, which I've done. But they're pretty much identical to Glock night sights. The 3-dot pattern is very fast. I have no issues with it at all. Great sight. Also, they're low profile. They don't snag. Excellent. So, wrapping up ergonomics, they're tight. Not to say there's not other pistols out there that aren't better. There are. But overall, they're excellent. And they don't get in the way of the form or function of the gun. And that brings us to the next in our bullets, which I've talked about. And we're going to talk about now, simplicity. What do we mean by simplicity? Well, less is more. The more parts we have, the more that can go wrong. But with a Glock auto pistol, it is very simple. We have our trigger in the most rearward position, therefore we know that the Glock is not loaded. However, we will still point in a safe direction. Rack to slide, double check, empty. I'm going to go ahead and take this down. The Glock simplicity includes the simplicity of takedown. Again, this is a new pistol and it shows newness all over it. How's that for simple and fast? Very few pistols can field strip as quickly and as easily as a Glock, in my opinion. The innards are simple. There's not that many parts to a Glock. And because they're so simple, they're easy to work on if you want to swap things out. Like I'll talk about in my modifications video, if you want to put a lighter trigger pull in it, it's an easy swap out. And just as easily as it's taken apart, the Glock 17 goes back together again. It's hard to do this in front of the camera. Simplicity. Simplicity is good. Easy to work on, easy to modify, durable. That's the Glock 17. And its brothers, all the other models. Huge, huge in simplicity. Now that gets us to the accessories of the Glock. And the Glock is easily accessorized. Again, there's a lot of things I've done to this one that I won't talk about right now. Maybe a separate video. But suffice it to say that there's a wide variety of things for Glock pistols because they are so tremendously popular. There's millions and millions of them out there. Therefore, there's a huge market for aftermarket accessories. And I'm talking slide release levers, grip additions, sights, trigger enhancements, different barrels, threaded barrels, lights and lasers, like this combination light and laser from Glock itself, one of my favorites. Why? Because it's so lightweight. Extremely lightweight, and it's perfectly tailored to the gun. Now, there's a lot of accessories for other pistols too. 1911, I understand that. However, Glock, I still think, wins in the accessory department because there's so many. And because there's so many, there's lots of competition to make them, and competition is good. That means that generally those accessories will be relatively affordable. The Glock 17 in the accessories department is amazing. Few can match it, in fact. That's part 3. Part 4, we're going to end up, we'll talk about the price and the track record of the amazing Glock 17 pistol. Thanks for watching.